What's up, everybody? How you doing? Welcome back. We're going to talk about 296. My co-host, AK Snoo, and myself. What's up, Snoo? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. How about you? I'm ready for this weekend's fights.
Yes, I'm actually, I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. I obviously on Twitch TV/UFC, we'll be watching fights and fighters fighting. Yeah, we're going to go all over the place a little bit. And it's hard not to with this card. I mean, it's so good. I have to bring it up right off the bat. Randy Brown. He's not like the main event of the undercard. He's not like the first fight on the main event of the main card. He's the first fight
On the prelims, man.
and he's fighting Muslim Salikov. It's crazy to see them down there starting back in the day. They're starting the Facebook prelims.
Yeah. Randy's a homie. I'm sorry. I don't know Salikov.
He's 100% fan, so I can't go against him, but he needs to use the range. Rude boy, you got long legs. Kick that, partner.
Yeah, we'll see on Saturday. I'm rooting for him, though. I'm pulling for him. What do you think about this Menifield-Jacoby fight?
Alonzo coming off, 2 fights with Jimmy Crute?
Mhm.
The first was a draw, and then the win by guillotine.
So the interesting thing to me is going to be Jacoby doesn't like to wrestle,
No.
right? He likes to keep things standing. So it's going to be really interesting to see, which Alonzo do we get? Are we going to get somebody who's constantly trying to take Jacoby down? Or are we going to get just a stand and bang on this one?
Jacoby's coming off that round 1 finish of Kennedy Zechku in August, which, so he's got that hype. And that's another thing that Alonzo, it might be, okay, you do want to stand up, maybe, but we might want to clinch it just for a little bit, just to start kind of derailing, throwing some doubt, just to cause hesitation. You know what I'm saying? Because it's tough when somebody comes off of a round 1 finish. They take that into the next fight. They take it through camp. I mean, how hard? I mean, imagine what it's like going through a training camp after you just knocked your last opponent out in the first round. You're on cloud 9. Training is better. You feel better. You're faster. You're moving. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to someone who comes off a loss. You're kind of dragging your feet. You're kind of worried about what got me there, how I got in trouble. It's going to be tough because he's going to go out there and try to dictate his pace right off the bat. And Alonzo needs to slow that down. So does he do that with his clinching and grabbing, or does he utilize the striking to set up the clinching and then, like I said, the guillotine?
Cody Garbrandt.
This next thing is
killer, man.
There was a time when he loved to just hit people. I think it's tough because he's coming off back-to-back round 1 losses
to some legit dudes.
100%. Bautista and Nurmagomedov. See, are we at that point? How old is Brian? And I say that because are we getting to that point where
he is 37?
You're that step, and then you're just another, things that you used to not get caught on, or things you used to be able to scramble your way out of, or situations you wouldn't get into normally because you're a little faster, a little quicker. Cody, even though he's been around a long time, how he can't be.
Cody's 32.
And I'll leave it right there. And he's coming off
a win.
My
question is.
And he's coming off a win.
Yes, he's coming off a win. He had 2 losses to Kai Kara France and Rob Font before that.
You don't think about those anymore because you're coming off a win.
Man, Cody's one of those dudes, though. It 100% depends on which version of Cody do you get that night.
And that's what I mean. He's coming off a win. And he's fighting somebody that is coming off 2 losses. A 32-year-old Garbrandt, he's been around so long, we forget. We call him this wily veteran, but he's 32. Yeah.
I like both of them, man. I don't want them to fight. I want them to shake hands. I want them to get along. I just want them to, just be happy, man.
They'll be happy afterwards. Yep.
Aldana versus Carol Rosa.
Aldana was literally just fighting for the belt. Do you take that and build from it, or
do you consider it a fluke?
Did you? Well, that's what I mean. Or exactly, and you want to get back and do that, or did you get beat and you're like, man, I'm just not ready? Aldana, I want to see the boxing. Rosa, if you're Carol Rosa, you want to go to the ground? I would say so, right? You want to go to with Aldana, you want to get this to the ground. Then I get this to the ground, and can I beat you down there? Go again. What was it that Nunes did that did work? That did shut her down. Sure. And if the coaches are saying, we got to work on this, we got to go after this, and let's go out there and implement the game plan. But Aldana, those hands. Aldana and those hands. You got to use them. Come on, 3-punch combos.
Josh Emmett, Bryce Mitchell, man. Bryce Mitchell filling in last minute. kinda? What do you think about this one?
Emmett's another one, back-to-back losses, but this is him taking on the top of the top. You know what I mean? One's fought
Sure.
for the belt, had a belt. One's fighting for the title.
I would never count Josh Emmett out, but at the same time, like Bryce Mitchell, man,
I can't get away
personally,
from the Ige. I think the same thing's gonna happen. What are you gonna do with Emmett? He is gonna he's gonna punch the living out of you.
well, what does
Like,
Bryce always do though, bro? Because that's that's what Dan Ige does too.
yeah,
What, you spend 3 rounds on his back. That's what you do if you're
trying.
Bryce Mitchell.
Yeah,
Yeah,
trying.
and
And
I don't know, man.
we got the
I don't
wrestling
know.
of Emmett to keep that from happening, and he'll dictate where this fight goes. Now, what's mind-boggling to me is these odds can't be real.
I
If that,
know,
then
right?
that's
Like,
my
that's what I
long
was
shot.
seeing.
That is
That's what I
100% my
was
long
seeing.
shot to
Yep.
go bet the farm on is Emmett. Because again, because he's coming off 2 back-to-back losses to who? You know what I
Mm,
mean? Yair Rodriguez and Topuria. Really? I mean,
yeah.
no offense to you, Bryce, but I can't get over the Ige fight. It just that changed a lot for me.
The one reason I would like to see Bryce win is just to see what happens. Like, how quickly does do the UFC cameras pan away from him
I
afterwards?
want to just
Like,
let him
when
get that
does he
mic.
get an interview?
Let him
Does
get
he
that
get
mic. And if we're not talking flat earth or something about the farm and the soil being dirty, let's I want
Yeah,
him. There's a part. See, that's one of the things. I want him to win because I want that. I want Bryce. I want
it's
the
good
true
content,
Bryce.
man.
It's
It's good
awesome.
content. Yeah, for
He
sure.
makes it awesome.
All right,
Main
so main
card.
card, I'm gonna make you. I want you to have an opinion on each one of these fights, and it's gonna be hard on some of them because this is the Jens Pulver channel. This is not the UFC channel. We don't have to be unbiased. Vicente Luque, Ian Machado, Gary. Gary has been fed through the social media ringer.
Yeah,
What does
he's
that do to you if you're a fighter that's prepping for an
doesn't sound
upcoming
like you're
fight?
prepping very hard if you're too busy focusing on this and making sure you get your replies in and make sure you have your voice and make sure you know what I mean, you have your side of the argument, make sure that it doesn't go unsaid or it doesn't go on, you know. So is your mind really there? No, it's not. But are you a youngster who loves fighting? Yeah, so your mind is always fighting. You know, I mean, that's the beautiful thing about just being a youngster is you're always fighting. You're
Sure.
always fighting. You're fighting somebody via phone, via text, via in the cage, in the ring, you're always fighting. It's just there's no real difference. If you're that young and you're just about fighting, I'll fight you no matter where. You know what I mean? We'll fight over an argument.
Yeah,
We'll fight over a video game. We'll fight. Everything's an argument. It doesn't matter.
for sure.
F you. I'm fighting. So maybe he's got that. Then I would say, does it add his fire? I wouldn't want that kind of fire. You know what I mean? To be the motivating factor. Because the one thing about Luque, man, he's rugged. Dude has been in there with everything. Does he have something left? I mean, he's coming off what, that unanimous win over RDA?
You look at Luque in round 1 versus round 5, the man doesn't slow down.
No, he
He
does.
didn't
He's a brawler.
he
He will
he
fight all the way through.
looked the same
Yep.
at the end of the fight as he did at the beginning of the fight,
And so
which
you know
against
what it is?
RDA is fucking crazy.
It's super.
Is there ever a time as a fighter where you're riding so high on yourself that confidence, you walk in there, maybe you don't train as hard because I'm the man.
That's exactly what it is, Snoo. That you're so high on yourself, like I don't have to.
Yeah,
It becomes it's the worst thing that can happen to you because now you're like,
yeah,
F, I don't got to do this. I'm gonna go focus on my other life, which obviously shit's going wild up in that thing. How are you gonna juggle this? You know what I mean? Because you're fighting somebody that's again 22-9-1, 22-9-1, coming off a win. That's he's been around and he'll brawl. He'll go toe to toe
yeah,
with you. If you can one shot him, again, you're high on yourself, and I get it. You go around, and you're the next. You put that Irish pressure on yourself, like you the next McGregor. Well, now you've got some more obstacles in the way. But is that enough motivation? Like you said, is that enough motivation to keep your ass training hard?
I mean, I kinda think we saw a similar kinda thing. I mean, obviously, like, it's not a direct parallel, but I think we saw a similar thing with McGregor, where you're riding at the top, man. You're
Yeah,
at the
but
top, and then
he's not. That's the thing.
I'm no, obviously
He
not,
is
but
he's still climbing that ladder. He's
sure.
a far cry from that top because I don't even know. Is there a number by his name? You know what I mean? Things like that.
Uh,
Shit. Oh no, he's got number 10. So he just
yeah,
broke
yeah.
in. So he's in the top 10. Vicente coming off a win over RDA. Yeah, he can get in and do it at a plus 285. That might be my other one. That's a hell of an
Vicente, you
underdog
think?
to bet on. Always bet on somebody that's an underdog that has a legitimate chance. How was he bigger than? Oh, come on. Don't fall out of the light yet, Luke. Now, speaking of falling out of the light.
Yeah, the one that's going to break my heart.
Ferguson versus Gimlet. You know, the thing with he's on a 6-fight skid. So we're talking about that downward, like we get to a point and then when we hit it and I'm waiting for that fall. We were talking about it earlier with my 37-year-old who's got two losses in a row. Is time done? I know he's reached out. What's he got? Goggins? See, the thing about that makes me nervous is hopefully he's preparing his mind because Tony's always been in great shape. You can tell what he's after and I know what he's looking for. Goggins is a straight savage. His mental is off the chain. And I think that's what Tony knows. That's what he's looking for.
So Tony's 39.
I know.
Patty's 28.
I know.
I'm not going to count Tony out. I'll never count Tony out.
One's on a 6-fight run and one's on a 6-fight skid. He hasn't fought in a year, and his last win was Jared Gordon. It was the unanimous decision for Patty. Patty's on a high.
But he hasn't fought in a year.
He hasn't fought in a year, and Tony has it's the way that Tony's losing though. Those same beatings that he would just he would take them and just be able to go through it. That's not there no more. The elasticity, you know what I mean, is not there anymore. I love Patty, man. Been commentating and Cage Warriors with him when he was coming up. As a retired fighter, the old man in me wants to see Tony just go find that fight. Or is it gone? And you're just holding on and doing what we all do at the end. And we don't want to let go. It's a hard pill to swallow, letting go. It's hard to say bye.
Tony's almost 40. If he loses,
they have to cut him. You have to cut him. I wouldn't even he won't retire. That's the problem.
Well, that's what I was gonna. Yeah, it's like
he'll be looking for the next thing to fix. It'll be this is wrong. This is wrong. I just need to adjust this. That's what you do. Pretty soon you're moving and you're changing houses, and then you're leaving environments. You're going to different gyms, and that's what I'm saying. Bringing in Goggins, you can tell he's going after that mental tough.
I hope he gets.
I would love to see him get this fight, but if you do, now you just refueled the whole fire, and we're gonna see. You know what I mean?
That was going to be my next question. Is okay. If he loses, he gets cut. If he wins, what?
Hopefully everybody tells him to leave on a win, but then that's a whole nother thing. It's like, I got wood. I found my gangster. Now I can do it again. And then so I don't know.
Exactly.
It's a hard road.
Who do you think takes the Ferguson Patty fight? You think Patty gets it?
No, I don't. I think
think Tony's going to get it.
Yes, because the style of Patty, I don't think Patty has enough arsenal to hurt Tony. Unless he jumps and catches him in a scramble, and Tony now has lost all being on the ground and scrambling. I don't think Patty. He's never shown to have enough to hurt anybody. Unless, like I said, Tony's so slow he just gets caught. I don't see it.
This next one is going to be very similar to the Cody Garbrandt.
Shavkat Rakhmonov, Stephen Thompson. Let's get to this.
I don't want either of these guys to fight, man. I just want them to shake hands. I want them to be friends. I want them to start a podcast together. Like let's go out for dinner and just hang out and be cool with each other. Don't get in there and fucking knock each other out.
Well, Ageless Wonder, man. The Ageless Wonder, 17. They both have 17 wins.
All due respect, this is not a Tony Ferguson situation.
No, it's not. He moves he looks well. He moves well. But see, no, because here's my point. Now it goes back to what we were talking about because now we're on Wonder Boy. His whole career, his muscle memory is being elusive. That's what he does. That's what he's been doing. The shell that Mayweather likes to get into, but this is different. This is the kid that he can't help himself. His natural abilities that he'll have till the day he doesn't move at all will be that elusiveness to move around on point, have that footwork, stay in, stay out. Great job at gauging the range and never getting into a bad situation and still being able to turn around and just pop. And that's why he can lure people in and still land those explosive punches. That's why he's still doing it at the age that he's doing it, because that muscle memory.
Shavkat's a monster.
Well, that's another, right? His last was what? Jeff Neal in March, and he hits him standing rear naked choke. He's
a -520 favorite too.
There is my other long shot.
Yeah, exactly. This is what I was gonna say, man. Like
I can't root against him.
I hope like hell Wonder Boy gets it done.
How are you going to adjust to Wonder Boy? And a lot of people have that problem. It's like dealing with the strength of Khabib. How are you going to deal with that if you're not used to training with that every day? You don't have people moving around like Wonder Boy. You might be able to go. I mean, you might be able to go to karate combat or something and get some little martial arts that can really move. You know, maybe he does have a gym full of them. I don't know, but if he does, because there really is, there's only one Wonder Boy. This last fight, I know AK Snoo, but AK Snoo, you trying to get to that last fight. There's so much stuff he's got to say. But
Pantoja, Royval. Let's get there. Let's get
man,
there.
we're getting there. We're getting there.
Flyweight title fight here. This is the second time that they fought. Pantoja won the last one versus Royval. Round 2 rear naked choke. His last win though was over Brandon Moreno for the belt, right?
Wow.
But you could be forgiven for forgetting that since we haven't seen him fight in. I don't know what it is, man. I don't know what it is with the flyweight division of the UFC. It's like
they just hold their rankings. There's like 7 of them, and they don't, or there's 6 of them. They don't go anywhere. They just stand and they wait until they fight.
It seems like Pantoja pops up once a year. We see him pop up every July or August or so. He fights and then he off to the shadows again for another year.
Because they only have like 25ers every now and then. They're busy building their 70s and 80. Everybody else, we only have so many. They only have a few 125ers, so they don't have to fight that often. You can have one fight night with three 125-pound fights. You pretty much covered. You've got the whole weight class covered.
I honestly don't know what to think about this fight though.
Well, it's the second time with Royval, right? And Pantoja won the last one, round 2, rear naked choke. So Royval, you have to. I don't care. He's coming off that round 1 win over Mataus Nicolau in April.
So if you're Royval, have you been just training in general, or
what's he been doing, man? Of course he's been training, right?
No. I mean, or has he been watching the tape back?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is he stuck on that first loss? Yeah, no, he's got it, right? You got to, I don't care who you are. That's 100% looming in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is it's not like, oh, I'm going to lose again. It's going to be, I got to get this back. So again, that's fuel to get you to train. Now he's got a belt and you want revenge. There's more fuel to get to train your ass off and go after it. And that'll be it right there. Again, you're coming off a round 1 win, which is awesome. You got long strikes. I like it when you put the punches together and finish with that long kick. Royval, when he gets rolling, But Pantoja's last win was Brandon Moreno, and he is now the champion. This is his first defense, is it not? So there's always that little bit right there, because we used to live and died by that. You're not truly the champ until you defend it.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting one. Who are you taking for it?
I'm gonna stick with Pantoja. I think he gets the second win. He goes after the belt. I think that win over Moreno, he's leveling up. Nothing against Royval. Royval, come out there and shock the world, because it'll shock me too. I think we see a new Pantoja. He's kind of getting a whole rebirth anyway. So we're seeing a new Pantoja. So hopefully he continues it. All right, let's get to your fight, because I know here it is. Dive in.
John Edwards.
You already know.
Versus Colby Covington.
Because here it is. His back-to-back losses to Usman. His last wins were Masvidal, March, and Woodley in September. My man has done a phenomenal job of being relevant when his last 2 wins are literally in 2022 and 2020. Usman couldn't beat Leon. He's got back-to-back wins. Colby has back-to-back losses over Usman. Colby goes out there and beats Leon with his wrestling, because he can handle that size. The size of Usman makes it hard to wrestle with him. Plus, he's got wrestling knowledge, good wrestling knowledge. And Colby just couldn't out-wrestle him. Colby out-wrestles Leon, gets him to the ground, and just wrestles all around, ground and pound, position, and he wins the belt. And he gets his rematch with Usman, but only this time it's because he's the champion. It goes back to that old saying, I want a rematch. I'm not going to ask for it. I'm just going to go keep winning until I get it. He's going to win himself into a third match.
I'd be curious if Usman has
thus making Usman with the possibility of becoming the champion again.
The champion.
Write it all down. Write it down. And Leon somehow will win. How in the hell he'll have to scratch his head and go, how did all that just happen? And Usman is now the champion. All right, give me another shot. And then they get to fight for their third time. Oh, it could be awesome.
When Colby gets in the cage on Saturday, this will be the very first time that we've seen him fight in 651 days as of.
And it's for a belt,
Saturday, right?
And it's
a title shot. Yeah, exactly.
Wild. So, Merry Christmas, Colby Covington.
Right,
Merry Christmas.
In this fight, I think Colby's biggest strength is his gas tank.
Yep.
You're not going to knock out Colby like you knocked out Usman the first time. I mean, we saw this motherfucker literally break his jaw and continue fighting, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think Edwards is going to have to keep it standing But I don't know if you
He
can.
can, because
I don't know if
it's
you
going to be a
can.
clinch game. It'll be a clinch game. It doesn't have to go to the ground.
Yeah.
Colby's going to do what people should be doing as wrestlers anyways. Get in there and clinch. Dirty box. Drop into a takedown right when they start punching back. Into the takedown. Up, 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 down, boom.
Yeah.
Usman's just so damn good and strong in that same clinch that Colby can't clinch with. I would give you a better chance of never learning striking and having the opportunity of striking with Colby than I would never wrestled a day in your life and in the next 4 months figured out how to wrestle with Colby, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Get out your mind.
If you're Colby Covington, you know, like, this is your last shot at a title.
100%.
This is your last shot. So we know what it's going to take for Colby to win. That's pretty evident. What's it going to take for Leon? If you were Leon's coach right now, what would you be telling Leon?
You need feints and explode. You need to hit with those hands. He's watched you knock out Usman. You beat some great grapplers in RDA and Nate Diaz. You just got to be in better shape. You're going to have to be extra because you're going to have to push him away in those clinches and start and throw those hands.
It's going to be an interesting fight because, I mean, like,
it's a hell of a card. The whole card is insane.
Record alone, I don't know, man.
651 days he hasn't been in the octagon. That's mind blowing.
Bro, I know you've got Colby. I'm gonna take Leon for this one personally.
No, not because the only reason, now here's Colby. Why. The only reason why I have Colby in because of the story. That's the only reason why I'm saying it, because it'd be the craziest story on the planet to go back to Usman getting the belt. It'd be wild. Yes, Leon in all rights should tear him up. But I'm going with the Colby story because it's just so funny. It would be
cool.
Awesome.
It would be cool. I just personally, I hope we get, because we've seen.
You get him on the mic as the belt holder, and then he chases Usman down.
Yeah.
Now he chases Usman down, and he's got the belt. It's going to be insanity.
Well, I guess we're going to see on Saturday, man.
Oh, which, by the way, if y'all are seeing this, we got that watch along from the first fight to the last. That kind of wraps it up, man. AK Snoo, once again, I appreciate it, man. We're going to be back Twitch TV/UFC Friday, 6 p.m. EST, watching Fights of Fighters Fighting in Saturday's pay-per-view fights. Saturday, I believe 6 p.m. EST, we got to watch along. Make sure you hit that like notification. Subscribe. If you have a comment. Trust me, I read them.
Every single reason in the comments. I want to see every single reason why Leon Edwards is going to beat Colby Covington. Go.
100%. There it is. Let's have it happen. Love and appreciation. We'll see y'all soon. Y'all be real. Y'all be good. Y'all be real good. We'll see you on Friday.